Hello. Oh, yes, it's working. Hello and welcome back to my craft room. I'm going to have another little art journal-y day today. I haven't got very long. I've just got a little bit of time this afternoon, so I thought I'd have another play in my junk journal that I started the other day. It's nice to see a few people who are pleased to see me getting back to a bit of art. Thank you for all the encouragement, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm very rusty. It's going to take me a while to get back into it, but I'm having a lovely time already. So, no time to waste on waffle today, no. Let's go straight to the desk and see what I'm up to. So this is the cover that I worked on last time. This is all working in this lovely junk journal that Sandy in the US sent to me. It started off as a Daphne's Diary cover, this, but I've ruined it. No, but I very much made it my own. So now I was going to just randomly pick a page anywhere, but I've landed on this one, which I love them all. They're all very different. And there's lots of different ways that I can use these pages to inspire a little bit of arty-farty play. What I'm going to do today is look at this particular page, just this one, just this little one. I haven't got long, and I'm going to keep it simple and quick, just a bit of fun. And I'm going to look at the page and see what elements I can pull out of the page to inspire my little piece for today. So, like, the most obvious thing would be colours. Pull out the colours in this girl here. I love all of these, but I love that deep kind of magenta-ish purple here, and all of these lovely bright colours. So yes, colours I could pick out. I like the bold black and white colouring page look there as well. So yeah, I could just pick one or two of these colours, or match up all of these colours. I could do paint swatches to match, or pick out little samples of thread or fabrics, or other papers, collage papers and tissue and things, just as a kind of interesting exercise. Today I'm going to be using distress oxides, which I love using to create quick backgrounds, and I've already pulled out colours that are inspired by this image. But I wouldn't have to. I could just pick one or two colours out of there. I always like to bring in a bit of black and white into my art journaling as well. Like I've done a black and white border around there. And then I can pick out other elements. So I could pick up little things like stars. So let's jot down like colours. So colours. And then I can pick up other elements, like I've got a star here on her wand, so I could add in stars, or flowers, sparkles. There's kind of a suggestion of sparkles there, or if you look here, it could be paint splats. Actually, I think it could be paint splatter. So elements like stars and flowers, sparkles, circles. There's a lot of circular elements here. There's a little heart there, so I could put flowers, hearts, stars, circles. I could decide to do something with eyes, because those eyes are very prominent there. I could just do a page full of doodled eyes, which is something I used to do a lot actually. She's wearing that little beady necklace, so I could pick up beads, or rather than beads, it could just be dots, because I love to do dotty doodles. So beads or dots. And then I could use the page to kind of inspire a style or a kind of theme for the page. So it could be colouring book style. It could be, I could think I like the bold outline. I could pick up something like the fact that her glasses, her eyeglasses, her spectacles are very prominent. So I could do something obvious like glasses, just pick up the glasses, or I could use that. I could add something a transparent element like, what's it called? Like tracing paper, like vellum, or acetate or something to my page. Clear sequins or something like that, just for fun. I've already put sparkles, haven't I? So I'm going to put transparent here. I could also take that a step further and look at, so I've put circles already. So looking at like this circle here, looking at the circles of her glasses, I'm thinking looking through. peepholes, looking through stroke peephole. That could be fun. I love doing peepholes anyway. And then there are other things like there's some scribbly handwriting here and some hand printed writing here and a different kind of writing here. So I think some kind of handwriting, maybe a quote. So I put handwritten quote. Also the words here say I wish, so I could bring that into it, wishes. So just looking at this this page here, I've got all of these elements that I could draw from. Don't have to include them all, but that just gives me plenty of scope. I'm kind of thinking that with the idea of having something looking through, where that circle is there, I could cut a hole there that would peek through to this. And if I cut the hole there, that wouldn't mess with this page too much either. Lots and lots to play with here. What I'm going to do first is give this page a layer of gesso. Now that I've had a good look at all of the imagery, I'm going to gesso this around. I'll leave the girl, and I might even transparent gesso over the image so that I can add coloured pencils to this and make it more kind of my own. Although I do love the image, but I just feel like I want to tweak it. I want to make it my own. So gesso first. Oh, this is the transparent gesso. Well, let's put this on first. Let's put this transparent gesso over the girl. Get that done, because that won't hurt. So yeah, I'm just going to give a little coat of this transparent gesso over the image. And I know it looks a little bit cloudy at the moment, but when it dries clear, and it just gives a little bit of a tooth, a little slight grittiness to the surface, so that I can use colour pencils on it, which is probably what I want to do. And if I decide I don't want to do anything to it, it won't have done any harm anyway. Okay, so that's that bit done. Now I want my white gesso. It's harder to find this transparent gesso, but it's really handy to have. If I can get the lid on, that would be really handy as well. Now I'm just going to gesso over most of the page is set for the image. I say the image, set for the little girl image there. Now, if that goes a little bit over her, that's okay. I could just wipe that back, because I'm going to be enhancing this image a little bit anyway. And this white gesso will just give me a good base for the next step. And the bits I've gone over, I can see enough of them to kind of refine them in a minute with my colour pencils. And I will keep my little notes there to one side, and as I'm working I can refer back to that and think, is there anything else I want to include? I've just gone straight over the I wish quote. Doesn't matter, it's in my head now, so it's done its job. I think that is good enough by the time I've put all my other colours and things on top of it. So now what I'm going to do is go away and dry this quickly with a hairdryer to speed things up a little bit, and I'll be back in a mo for the next step. Exciting, colourful step. Right, that's all nice and dry now, so I'm going to bring in my oxide inks. I love the colours of these. I love the way they work. They're so blendable, and I use these blending brushes. If you buy them as cosmetic blending brushes, they tend to be cheaper. I bought a big set on Amazon, and it didn't cost me very much. They've lasted me for years. You can wash them and use them again, but I tend to just keep them in colour families. So I've picked out colours reflecting this little image here. So I've got spice, but you don't by any means need all of these. It's just I have got all these colours. I've collected them over years. They last really well, these inks. So yeah, I've got refills for my favourites, and yeah, they're expensive to buy, so I look out for them when they're in the sales, and I've collected them up over a matter of years. So I've got quite a nice collection, and I may as well make the most of them. So I've got two different shades of yellow. This is a warmer, deeper yellow, and this is more of a, squeezed lemonade. Fossilised amber, squeezed lemonade. Wilted violet, spiced marmalade, picked raspberry and abandoned coral. A little bit of twisted citron. Now there's kind of a limey green in there, but I didn't really want the darker green in here, so I've picked this out. I'm also a little bit mindful of what's going to be opposite, which is these colours. So, and then there's this bright kind of turquoisey blue, the Mermaid Lagoon. And this blueprint sketch is quite a deep blue, and I'm going to use that and the black soot, which I've managed to leave behind. What have I done with that? I'll get that when I need it in a minute. They'll come in when I come to do the sky, because what I'm going to do is, this is going to be a night sky and a kind of a mini galaxy painting. That's what I'm thinking now. So that will bring in my stars. I'm going to cut a hole there, which will bring in my circles and my peeking through idea, and the transparent idea. I might even put a transparent piece behind, possibly. Sparkles. I've got my Winker Stella pen I might bring out later to give her all a bit of sparkle. And then I'm going to do my handwritten quote. Maybe there'll be space for that down here. I don't know if I'll be able to write it all though, because I found a lovely poem that I want to, by Shel Silverstein. I don't know if I'm saying that name right, but yeah. So yes, I've got pretty much all of the colours that are in there, but I can go nuts with this, because you just get loads and loads of colour, and then you kind of more or less, you cover quite a bit of it with darkness for the dark sky, and you just let some of the light shine through. I love doing these kind of galaxy paintings. Sometimes they work out better than others. Let's hope this is one of the good ones. Then I'll do some paint splats and dotted stars for sparkles as well, and that will have really picked up all of the elements that I jotted down. So I'm quite pleased about that. So I'm just going to apply these colours fairly, liberally. I'm not thinking about it too much, except that I will think about not putting two colours together that are going to modify each other. I wouldn't now add the twisted citron here. I will be careful what sequence I put them in, so that they merge together nicely. I've also got my bold outline I've just noticed on there, but what I might do is add a dark black around the figure, although I mean, if it's going to be a night sky anyway, so. But yeah, I don't have to do all the elements I've picked up anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's go into a little bit of the picked raspberry now. Love this colour. They're just so lovely how they blend together. I think I need to put a bit of tape there to stop that ruining the next page. That's better now. I can go right up to the edge now. So I've got picked raspberry. I've got spiced marmalade, abandoned coral, picked raspberry. I think now I might go into the wilted violet down here. I wish I hadn't done that now. Just leave it there. Just not do any more of it, don't have to. Let's do some of the yellows. Got fossilised amber here. Amazing how many years I've had some of these inks. They just go on and on and on. There's a bit of squeezed lemonade, that lighter, brighter yellow. And now that will go nicely into the twisted citron. And from there into the Mermaid Lagoon. that's probably it for my bright colours. So I think the blueprint sketch will follow on nicely from that turquoise and from that purpley colour. That's what I'm hoping. Okay, now I'm going to go into black soot and I need another blending brush. One of the things I love to do with distressing is to just splash it with water. Just let it sit for a few seconds and then that's done my paint splashes as well, hasn't it? Right, so that's some of the Distress Oxide black soot. I think I'm going to now go on to the normal Distress black soot because it's a deeper black, if I can find it. I've also got this Dusty Concord, which is like a deep kind of dark purpley colour, so I'm just wondering about that too. Right, so now I'm going to try just adding some darkness to the sky but leaving bits of the colour shining through, kind of thing. It's a bit random and it sometimes works better than others, so all I can do is go for it. There we go, that's a bit of a fun sky, I think. I have to try and get into that bit there because that's really annoying me. Right, I'm going to now, distressing oxide and original do stay reactive to water, so I can't now put wet media of any kind on top of these. Well, I could dot with paint, you know, but I can't move it around or it will smear, so which we don't want. I'm quite happy with what I've got going on there. It kind of looks like some weird galaxy lights. Do you feel like I could just get one more bit up there? Hang on, let's take this off. Carefully, 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 carefully. No, 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 no. Oh, that's annoying. I should have, even though this is supposed to be very low tack tape, I should have made it even less tacky. Is that better without that? Would that be better without that bit there looking like it's coming out of her head? I'll leave it for now. Splat with some water again, just for a bit of added interest. Just leave that for a minute before I pick it up. I'm going to go and give that a blast with the hairdryer. As I say, it will stay water reactive, but at least if I blast it with a hairdryer, I won't sort of lift it just by with my hand rests on it, which I think I would at the moment. So right, I'm going to go and do that. Okay, so I've got my bases done now. I've done a little bit of a kind of glow of that squeezed lemonade ink around to make her kind of glow a bit. But I will be picking up her outline again as I use the coloured pencils probably. I've cut a hole there to peek through to the page before, and I quite like that because it looks like a weird planet or something. It was quite hard cutting a circular hole out, so it's not very good. And it could have been a little bit bigger, but I can't make myself go back in and do it again now, so I'm going to leave it like that. I've got lots of I want to add lots of white stars as well as these splashes of water that have reacted with the distress ink. I've also got a smaller and a larger white Posca paint pen to do some more stars with. I've got this gold shimmery pen. It's a Nuvo, what do they call it, Midas Touch. Hoping it's still working. Aqua Shimmer gives a lovely kind of subtle shimmer, so I'll add some of that to her at the end. And then I've got a selection of coloured pencils that I'm going to use to work on the image. I found a poem which is too long to write here, I think. So what I've decided I'm going to do is, instead of where she was holding the wand, she's going to be holding a little envelope that says invitation, and I'll make it so that that will open out and I'll be able to write the whole poem on there because it's too long to write here. And the poem is one by Shel Silverstein, and it goes like this. It's called Invitation. So I think if I write invitation on the envelope, I think that'd be really good. If you were a dreamer, come in. If you were a dreamer, a wisher, a liar, a hoper, a prayer, a magic bean buyer, if you were a pretender, come sit by the fire, for we have some flax golden tales to spin. Come in, come in. I love that. I love that so much. I love about that. So, and I just think it's too big to write down here. So I might try writing on a piece of paper and just holding it there. But then I also quite like the idea of she's holding an invitation that I can open out and read the poem later. I like interactive elements in my art journals. So now I've sort of said a little bit about what I'm planning to do, I'm going to go quiet, play a little bit of music, and just work on this for another. I've only got about half an hour, so I haven't got long. And I'll put some music in the background and show you how it evolves. I'll see you at the other end. Well, I got really fed up with this yesterday afternoon and had to walk away from it, and thought I'll come back this morning and see if I feel any better, but I don't. I ended up trying to write a poem all down here, couldn't make it show up against the background enough, decided the background wasn't dark enough, and the letters weren't light enough. I don't know, it all now looks a bit blah to me. There's bits of it I like how the girls turned out. You can't see that, or you can if I just catch it just right. She's got a lovely subtle shimmer on her dress now. And I like, yeah, I've sort of added my own style to that a little bit. I loved the idea of, I loved how the galaxy thing was going, but I just think I didn't have enough space here to do it like I've done. I've done these. I'll try and remember to link to a couple of galaxy paintings I've done before. I've been thrilled to bits with, but maybe it's a bit ambitious to try and fit it on here. Anyway, it just all looks a bit meh to me now, so in the interest of complete transparency, I thought I'm going to come back, show you this now, and then, I know some people won't like when I do this, I'm going to go over all of this carefully in black. I want solid black, and then I'm just going to write the poem on in one of the lighter colours. I need to get I wanted a solid colour, and it's just too... So... And I've gone away. I won't end up including... I'm still hoping I'm going to end up with something I really like. I just want more oomph to this. This is all just too blah for me. So I'm going to actually go over this in black now. Probably the easiest way is if I get some black acrylic paint, I think. Then I could just use a white Posca over the top of it. Possibly once I've done that, I could then add different colours to the over the top of the white Posca. But we'll see. So I just wanted to come back and share that, because this is the process sometimes, isn't it? And also, you know, if you're not happy with it, it just means you're not finished yet. And with doing these kind of mixed media things like this, you can just keep going over and over. The only thing is, obviously, if I go over the distress inks with any kind of wet medium, they're going to smudge. So yeah, I think the easiest way is going to be to carefully go over all of this in black. I don't want to lose this lovely halo I made around her, but I think I might just have to re-add it in. Anyway, I'll be back in a mo. It's nothing exciting to watch. I'm just going to go over it in black acrylic. Actually, I've decided it might be quite fun to watch. Oh, let's put this notebook over the top. I've got this lovely deep carbon black golden fluid acrylic paint, and I think this will go on nice and solid and give me that solid black that I'm craving. I'm not going to make the mistake of putting masking tape on that magazine paper again, so let's just try and neaten it off here. Oh, look at that lovely black, very, very black. Not going to use much water. Fluid acrylics move around really nicely without needing to add much water. So keep this lovely solid black. It is moving the distress ink around a bit and slightly murkifying things already, but let's keep going. I think we're all right. So there we go. This is the thing that happens sometimes, isn't it? I might need to get a really tiny little brush as well and go give it in between these little flowers. Okay, back in a mo. It's all blacked out now, and I don't know how well you can make it out, but I've penciled in the words to the poem. So what I've decided to concentrate on is the because one of the little notes I made on my notebook when I first looked at this image and I was putting elements out to inspire this piece, one of the things was a handwritten quote and also wishes. So I found that poem that I read to you earlier on, and I'm going to concentrate on there. I'm going to make more of this kind of handwritten font because I think that'd be quite fun. I'm still going to get a fine liner in and go over some of these, tidy up some of these details here a bit, and I want to put my glow back in here. And then I'll do one of the other things on my notes was sparkles sparkle stars dots, so I think I might do some little dots of the different colours that are in here coming out around her when I've done the glow. That'll, yeah. I think that'll look alright. Okay, so now I'm going to use my paint pen and see if I can make out what I've done here. And I will probably have to go over this writing again, I'm sure. I might even use the thicker pen, but I'm just going to get it sort of in place so I can see it now, I think. And I drew lines in between, but I haven't quite decided if I'm actually going to draw the lines in or just leave the words there. So at the moment I think I'll just leave the words. I can't see it. I still can't quite decide whether to put the lines in between, so it's written, I've sketched it out on this tracing paper. It's written like that with the lines in between, and I kind of, sometimes I like the look of it if you actually just draw those lines in, and that might make it a bit easier to follow along, but that might get a bit too much as well. Let's leave it for now. So I'm just going to thicken up these lines now and then put little bobbles at the end of all the straight lines. And I could still decide that I want to go over this in a colour afterwards once I've brightened it up with the white. I don't know, or I might just leave well alone after my experience just now. So I'm going to go through this. It'll take me ages now drawing this out, but I'll be back in a moment and show you how it looks. So now that I've got the white, the nice solid white pen down, I can go over it with the brighter colours, and they show up nicely against that black. So I can still have my colours, but it just looks a bit more, a bit less blah. Also using a little fine liner just to give an outline to some of these shapes, because that was one of the things on my notebook, to use a bold outline. I've done my sparkles there. Let's go back to my notebook again. What else did I put? Colours, so I will do the colours. I might try, because I just love those colours of distress inks that have ended up being lost now. I'm wondering whether to colour some little scraps of paper with them and cut out star shapes to dot around on here. I think that could be quite cute. So I've got the flowers, I've got hearts. I'm going to do some sprinkles of stars. I've got circles, I've got peepholes, bold outline, beads and dots, handwritten quote, and wishes as the kind of theme, which is where this poem comes in. So I think I've covered everything that I had in my little notes that I made, and I'm much happier with this than I was in the beginning. Still want to try and get that kind of glowy outline again. I don't know if I might be able to do that if I use a lighter yellow. Let's try it down here a little bit where it's going to be easy to get rid of it if I don't like it. It's really hard to tell. Just want a kind of a bit of a glow all around it, you know. Let's just try it here. Maybe it needs to be the white. No, I think we're going to be back to the colour pencils for that bit. No, oh God. Cannot get the effect that I want at all. I'm going to go over that in the black now. forget trying to get the glowy thing because that's just not working. Instead of that, I'm going to do lots of little starry dots in the different colours. Yeah, that'll work. Do that instead. Yeah, definitely putting these pens over the top of the white is making them sing out much better than trying to just use them straight over the black. I just wasn't getting, they just weren't coming up bright enough for what I wanted. But that's working now. So I'll go through and I'll go over all of those words in a combination of all these colours, and then I'm going to use the same colours to just add little dots, that kind of little sparkles in colours that coordinate with the image. And I could go kind of over the actual image a little bit, and that'll help to merge it into the page. That's what I'm thinking. I do feel like with using these Artex acrylic markers, I like them. I'm not against them, they blend nicely and stuff. I feel like in the course of using them, it's more like, rather than being an acrylic paint pen, it's more like as if you had gouache in a pen form to me, because they stay water reactive for a start. Just the kind of finish of them, it feels more gouache than acrylic to me. Don't know what other people think who've used these. Yeah, I need to make odd ones a little bit bigger rather than have them all the same size. Yeah, so that's kind of, yeah, that's the idea of what I'll be doing, and I'll dot them around the page as well, so it looks like a kind of gives that little effect of a colourful, kind of like a night sky but more colourful. And I might still do some of those distress ink coloured stars and dot them around the place as well, wherever I can find a space really. I could draw stars in with the white pen, go over with colours again, but I like the idea of giving a little bit more dimension to it, so yeah. I might also add a little bit more to some of these letters, and I would, if I do that, I'll have to go over the white first, won't I? Could put more of a dot on the end of that R, and I could also add little details to some of them, like this, just to make it more interesting. And I could, let's find one where I can do it. Could add a bit of a kind of a spiral to this Y. Just sort of doodling into the letters that I've got there. So I'll maybe go over those in white first, do a bit more doodling, then go over in the colours, add lots more dots, and possibly the more three-dimensional scrap paper colourful stars, and then I'll be done with this page. I wonder whether to do some dots around this. Is that going too far? That's going too far, I think. I'm not going to do it, but I might do some dotted colours around it. Okay, so I'm going to carry on and do that. I've been going on too long, so I'm going to stop now. I'll be back and show you how it turned out. Okay, I think I'm done with this for now. I might still decide to add the three-dimensional stars on. I haven't quite decided. At the moment, I'm done with that. I've added white stars to kind of all of this bit of the page, and then different coloured stars around the figure, which coordinate with the words. And I'm quite happy with that, and I'm very happy to have discovered that poem, or rediscovered that poem. And I quite like the idea of filling this book with different quotes and poems and bits of writing and things that I enjoy and find inspiring. Yeah, it'd be quite a nice little theme to run through through the book possibly. So I included all of the elements that I had scribbled down. Did all get included one way or another. A couple of unexpected turns along the way, but got there in the end, and I'm really happy with what I've ended up with. So I hope you've enjoyed watching along with me. If anybody's got any tips or ideas for different things to do in junk journals and art journals, please do feel free to share them in the comments. And of course, you're very welcome to share pictures of your art journal pages and such. Like any creative arts and crafts actually are very welcome in the Discord community and Facebook group. There are links. If you go to the description box to this video, you'll find my link tree. Click on the link tree and a whole list of links will come up, including Discord and Facebook group. They're all free to join, and they're full of lovely, friendly, welcoming, supportive, creative, talented people who all love, and it's like they're lovely places to share all our inspirations and ideas. So please do feel free to join if you haven't already. Also, thank you so much to my lovely channel members who I will scroll up here as I'm waffling on. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Some of our channel members have been with us for it's going on a year now, and I'm just, words aren't enough. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in joining as a channel member, you'll find a button down here that says join. Somewhere around here, it might be different if you're on different devices. If you click on that, it will pop up and tell you all about it. There's a few little channel members perks that we do as a special kind of thank you to those people, and that will tell you all about it. Thank you as well to all of you for your ongoing support and encouragement always through all of my arty-farty adventures. I just want to do all of the arts and crafts. There's never enough time in the day. I always love doing all kinds of different creative things. Always have done, always will do, and it's always so much more fun when I've got all of you to share them with. So thank you to everybody who watches and likes and comments and all that stuff. I really, really appreciate it. Anyway, quite enough waffle from me for now. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I'll see you again really soon. Bye.